So I just had a guy that I'm mentoring call me not too long ago, and I wanted to make a video about not becoming a dumping ground for other people. You know, he calls me and his life is not going the way he wishes it could go, and he wants to be married, he wants kids, he wants. I'm not gonna mention his name just in case he watches this video. I'm not trying to put his business out there, but I'm trying to. I mentored him over the phone, and I let him know everything I'm gonna tell you guys. It's like, you know, when you want to put out a fire, you don't add, you know, you don't add gasoline to the fire so that you can put it out, right? And you don't add wood to the fire, right? So you want to put it out, you put water on the fire. And so what I mean by that is that when you have problems and when you have poisonous people in your corner, ditching out a lot of rhetoric that is not helpful to you, right? That's like adding fuel to the fire, right? It's not going to be beneficial to you. We have to be navigators. We have to be stewards of our own life. We have to be managers of our own life. We have to do that with our thoughts, with our intentions, with our actions. We have to do that with people in our corners. Sometimes it's family members. And for this individual, it's his dad that is very, very toxic, and his mom less toxic, but his dad is very toxic. And how they used to manage his life. They break him down. They tell him, you know, that he doesn't measure up and this and that, and that's not helpful. So I've heard this conversation over and over again. I see a trend, and my advice to him was, listen, bro, you know, sometimes you got to cut people off for a season only to come back stronger and better. And so, like, that's what I did in my life. When I had people like my brother and other siblings in my life, they didn't understand me, where I was heading, right? My mentality was in the zone. I was headed somewhere, but they weren't on this journey with me. I noticed that their mentality of me was who I used to be. But God had deposited seeds of greatness in my heart already by this point, and I was already on a journey. But the outward appearance, what people judge other people by, I looked like the same old person that they were familiar with. But like I mentioned, there was stuff that was embedded in me at this point already, that I was headed somewhere with my imagination, with my thoughts, with my intentions, with my just purpose. And so, like, when every time they would speak death over me, I would just get irritated, right? Back in the day, it acted like a sledgehammer to break me down, and I would feed into all of that, and it would really affect me. But when you have enough God in you, when you have enough kingdom in you, enough Bible in you, when you're affiliated with enough positive people in your life, support groups in church, etc., you know, and they're always speaking life, then what happens when you're around toxic people is that they irritate you like nobody else. And that's what was happening to me. I was being irritated by these siblings of mine, and I had enough. I was just like, you know what, I'm going somewhere. Like, I'm going somewhere, and even if you don't believe that I'm going somewhere, that's fine. I'm not gonna waste my time, my energy to convince you. I'm just gonna do it. So what I did in my own heart was I made up my heart and my mind to say, you know what, I'm just gonna focus on me. So I started to go to church every single day because I needed to feed off of God and the positivity and the light and the hope, right? I didn't need any more negativity. The world hands you negativity on a daily basis. You don't need any more. So why would I have other people like leeches sucking the energy out of me when I need my precious energy? So I started to learn and adapt, and I started to hear my mentee talking this way. I'm like, oh man, you're reminding me of me, that victim mentality of life is doing me dirt and I can't catch a break, and the cards dealt to me were bad adult cards. He starts telling me how he was living in an abandoned house, and how he used to do drugs and this and that, and he went on and on and on. And I'm like, look, let me stop you right there. I'm not a dumping ground for negativity. You want to talk about solutions and hope, and you want to talk about finding your way out of this rut, I'm here for you. But you just want to continue on in the cycle, just letting me know how much your life sucks. I don't see a point to this conversation. Let's sharpen this conversation up so it won't be dull, and let's look for ways to edify. And so I started to redirect the conversation, because I'm quick to cut anybody off that's negative in nature. I don't need that in my life. So for me, I'm here to help, a source of hope and a beacon of light. But you're not going to tell me that darkness will prevail over light. Never. So if you bring the light into any dark... so what I'm trying to say is that he finds himself in a rut. He finds himself in a ditch and all these steps. And these are his circumstances. But he's talking death on top of death. The Bible says that we have life and death at the power of our tongue. And so he's not prophesying. He's not speaking life. He's not thinking, I'm going to get out of this. He just continues to pile toxicity on top of toxicity on top. And he's eating a sandwich of death, right? And he wants me to join him on this meal. I'm like, dude, I'm not going to eat that. Like, let's talk about the fact that, fine, things are not going your way, but you know, owning, like stepping up to the plate and owning our responsibility of how we could do it. What can we do to get organized? Can we journal? Fine, let's journal. Can we put down our goals? Yes, let's do that. Can we check one off one by one? Can we give ourselves grace for the mistakes that we have done in the past? Can we forgive ourselves? Can we forgive the other people that have been toxic to us? Okay, this is getting you out of the rut. This is what we need to do. We don't need to continue piling on top of why our life sucks. We need to see. And I started to talk to him about, because he kept telling me how his life was worse. I'm like, dude, you don't know the first thing, bro. I said, if I tell you all the things that go on in my life, you'll feel pity for me. But the fact is that pity will enslave you. Pity, feeling sorry for yourself, it paralyzes you in that place. It never allows you to grow and outgrow that situation, because it's somebody else's fault. You have given your power over to somebody else, and they hold the keys to your life, and that's nonsense. In reality, we can get up out of our ditch, and it's going to be uncomfortable, and it's easier to say, oh man, this challenge, this obstacle, and this and that. But in the end of the day, it's a Goliath. And David slew a Goliath, but other people were giving their power over to Goliath, saying, oh man, he's so big. Oh man, you know, who can take down Goliath? They were giving over their, you know, like they were looking at their problem, their obstacle, and they say, I can't overcome this. And as long as they had that mentality, they weren't going to face their challenge. But David came and said, this guy, I can take this guy down. And they didn't believe in him. But the fact is that David's secret weapon was his faith in God. And David went up to him saying, listen, you may be big, strong, and have all these mighty weapons and all that, but I come at you with the name of God, with the God of Israel. He said, today I'm going to take off your head. I'm going to feed it to the birds. And he prophesied it over his obstacle, over his challenge. And that's what I kept telling this guy that I was talking to. I was just like, listen, bro, as long as you're continuously feeding the fire, it's going to grow, bro. But you start to put out this fire, and you start to say like, oh, these challenges that I'm going through, this is temporary. I'm going to get up out of this. You know, my parents, you know, they don't believe in me, but watch me. I'm going to take all this energy, all this animosity, all this strife, all this drama, all this problem. I'm going to use it. I'm going to utilize it. I'm going to take on these energy, right? Because I got plenty of it, right? And everything in life sucks and all that. I'm going to use all of that, and I'm going to take myself to where I want to go. And then I'm going to tell everybody, you see, you didn't believe in me, but look at me now. And the Bible says, seek first the kingdom of heaven, and everything else will be falling into place. So I told him, hey, listen, man, when I put my eggs in God's basket, bro, he took care of me. So maybe this will help somebody. God bless you.